KDE. So by default, it's going to be load GNOME. But compared to the KDE, GNOME is look and feel is very good. That's why people they may invest on the GNOME only. And on top of that, whatever applications, some of the default applications will be installed while installation of operating system itself. If you want to install any kind of application, so you can you can install from the command line directly, or you can download if you are using any kind of desktop version and install those from the package management system. It's better to learn installation part from the command line whenever you want to install any kind of package. So we'll see there is a little bit difference between these two flavors, like Debian family. We have two families here, basically in the server side. So one is Debian family and one is Red Hat family. So under Debian, we have operating systems called Debian and as well as Ubuntu. And the Red Hat family, we have CentOS and Red Hat. But in the normal commands for administration part, each and everything is same. So only difference we can see in the package management. So whenever you want to install any kind of package, so in the Debian family, we have two types of command. One is tpkg and one is apt-get. I'm going to show you the difference between those two. So once we go with the package management. But in the Red Hat family, so we have other commands, rpm and as well as yum. So using these commands, we can install whatever package you require. So other than that, the most of the commands, whatever we are running, like listing the files and creating any kind of files, administration part, everything is same. But some of the file systems, like the host name change and all those things will be a little bit different over there. But normal administration part, each and everything is same whenever you want to manage all your file systems and creating files and creating any kind of directories. And whatever file system is coming from the distribution, like the Linux distribution, each and everything is same here. So let's see how installation we can do that. There are a couple of ways we can do in the installation part Linux here. So if you have a direct machine access, so we can insert the CD. The CD is already contain all the software, whatever you require, whatever you're seeing. And you can start the installation part once CD is inserted. And one more thing, if you are using any kind of virtual machines, like in your laptop, if you want to create any kind of virtual machines, we have the Oracle VM, Oracle Virtual VM. It's a best software compared to VMware. So VMware will make some kind of noise in your laptop. It's to manage. It's better to have, if you want to manage some kind of virtual machine, so go with the Oracle Virtual VM. So there, the CD is not required here. You just need to download the ISO image from the outside repositories. So once you download it, you just need to attach that ISO image to whenever you want to install any kind of VM. So that it's going to be start installation part. Once installation is completed, then you can detach automatically after reboot. It's going to be detached from that machine. So these are two types normally. But if it is in the remote machine, remote location, in the normal organizations, what they will do, they will create some kind of kickstart machine. In the one, they will create kickstart machine one subnet, and they will make some kind of configurations over there. Whatever versions they have, all those versions will be created into the kickstart server. And whenever you want to install any kind of new machine, if you want to provision new machine, they will just create that machine under that the same subnet wherever this is available, like the kickstart machine. It will automatically pop up at the initial stage. It will show whatever Linux distributions are available in the line. So you just need to select those distributions and installation will start over there. So it's an automated way you can do that in the kickstart method over there. And there are so many softwares available for this installation part here. And in the normal way, if you want to do ISO, and the CD also is available. If only one or two machines you are going to manage from the data center part, then basically you can contact data center guy to insert the CD or attach these things. Then installation will go with that. If more number of servers we are managing, basically people will go for the network installation type, like a kickstart method and kind of thing. And here, while installation of this operating system, it's going to ask the file system creation. So by default, it's going to create the slash partition and as well as the swap space here in the Linux distribution. Under slash only, there are so many file systems available. So we are going to see in the the next slides, what are all the file systems available, and what exactly those things. It's going to explicitly provide some of the file systems need to be created on the by default instead of only slash. So you can manage all those things from the installation part. Even if you are not providing those things also, it's going to create under the slash directly. And what exactly is swap space here? The swap is going to work like a normal RAM. How RAM is going to work? It's like the random access memory. Whatever fast we want to access any kind of application very fast, so RAM is going to use. Some of the sessions are going into store into the RAM session whenever application is accessed. So for example, if you have 2 GB of RAM installed on your machine, and then the total 2 GB utilization is completed, and the next application, so if it is looking for some kind of RAM on the machine that is not available, then in the Linux distribution immediately it will go to the swap space, because swap is going to work as a normal RAM. So there is the simple equation is available. The next slide we'll see that. And the burning Linux ISO image into the DVD, you can do once ISO image is downloaded. If you want to convert into DVD or ISO like the CD, you can convert into the DVD. And also you can have doing the actual installation, dual boot installation. I don't prefer dual boot installation on your any kind of laptop because it's going to disturb whatever existing software is there. Instead of that, just go with the Oracle Virtual VM and install whatever operating system you require on top of, create a number of virtual machines, and you can manage from there. It's very easy part. So here are some some of the partitions. So first of all, swap as I told you is going to be used as like a RAM, and we have a simple equation. The swap partition is used to boost your computer memory, and some application require it. Even the Hibernate feature on Linux require it. Rule of thumb is to set at the 2x of the RAM. So 2x of the RAM in the sense. So for example, if you have a 2 GB of RAM in your machine, so while installation of this operating system itself, you need to calculate that. So whatever RAM is there, the 2x of the RAM, you need to provide the swap space. So here 2 GB of RAM in the sense, 4 GB of swap space you need to create. So this is going to be taken from the disk, whatever disk you are attaching to that virtual machine. So out of that space, for example, 40 GB you are taking for that machine. So out of 40 GB, the 4 GB will be taken from the swap, whatever you provided over there. So because of it is creating from the internal disk, it is not exactly working as like RAM, that much speed, because RAM, the device is totally different. That is the reason you can get a fast response from the RAM. But the swap is also converted to RAM, but it is creating from the internal disk, but it's not like that much speed. It's not providing that much speed, but still the functionality is going to be provided as like RAM here. So that your application will up and running, even the RAM utilization is full 100% filled out of that. So immediately you need to, anyway, you are going to have some kind of monitoring system out of all your machine, and you are going to monitor your RAM utilization, disk utilization on that. Whenever you see this kind of issue on the RAM 100% filled, so immediately you need to log into the machine and verify. So what exactly process, what processor, what application is taking 100% RAM, and troubleshoot that if it is required to refresh or restart the service. So then automatically RAM utilization will go down so that the next process will take RAM instead of swap. So, but still your machine will be up and running. So instead of the applications stopping, it's going to up and running using the swap space. So using your monitoring system, you can troubleshoot whenever it is required. If it is 100% filled, then automatically the next application will take as a RAM utilization. So that's what the main usage of the swap space in the Linux operating system. So these are a couple of the partitions we can manage from the whenever you do installation. Mostly people will go. So instead of only the making slash and swap, they want to create a direct partitions instead of creating under directly slash, it will create in a separate partitions. Whenever you require to increase this partition, so you can increase those things while adding some more the disk into that. Even if it is coming under slash also, So you need to attach any kind of external disk, and you can increase. So by default, if you are using LVM kind of thing on that, or you are not using any kind of LVM, attach any new disk and the mount into the different partition, different name wherever it is required. That is also possible. And here, once you started any kind of installation in the Ubuntu, it's going to show you this screen initially. So we have two options here. So one is try Ubuntu and another is install Ubuntu. It's like before installation, you want to see how exactly the interface look like after completion of installation. If you click on try Ubuntu, it will show you how exactly it's going to work, and you can manage, you can work over there. And once you come out from that, everything will swap out. So once you try it and all those things, if it is looking good for you, then you can go for the install Ubuntu. So just click on install Ubuntu. By default, it's going to select the English language. So if you have any preferred language, you can select whatever it is required out of this entire line. And then the next screen will be shown here. It's going to verify at least 2.6 GB is available drive space or not for this installation, and your the laptop or machine, whatever it is, wherever you're installing, it is connected to power source or not. And the next thing would be it is connected to internet or not. So these three things will be verified from this installation part. Even these two are not checked also, it's not doesn't matter, but this disk space is required. This much of disk space should be available whenever you installing this installation part. And here we have two options here, the check boxes. You can see the arrow marks here, and one is the download updates while installing and install this third-party softwares. So whatever ISO image you have downloaded from the outside repositories, that is compressed with the specific version. So after that, you may have so many updates out of that. Those are not going to be complete. Those are not going to come in with your ISO image.